And that's game over for Zombie Apocalypse 7. Thanks for watching, everyone. Chen forced a smile at his webcam as his stream's viewer count hovered at a measly 127. 3 years ago, he would have pulled in at least 10,000 viewers for a major game release. But times had changed, and the age of traditional gaming streams seemed to be fading into obscurity. The chat scroll had slowed to a trickle. Virtual Viper, another dead game. Stream Queen 92, Jake, have you heard about Nexus Games' new release? GamerGhost 444, bro, you should try that new Nexus game everyone's talking about. Jake's interest peaked. Nexus Games had been a giant in the VR industry 5 years ago, but recent failures had driven them to the brink of bankruptcy. He hadn't even known they were working on something new. Chat, what's this about Nexus? He asked, quickly pulling up their website. The homepage displayed a simple black background with white text, Prophecy our final game. Limited release. Experienced the future. His phone buzzed. It was a message from his old college roommate, David Kim, now a junior developer at Nexus Games. Check your email. You'll want to see this. The email contained a single activation code and a short message, you're one of 50 streamers selected for early access. No NDAs. No restrictions. Stream whatever you want. This is our last shot, Jake. Make it count. Jake's audience had been declining steadily over the past year. At 28, he was facing mounting pressure from his parents to get a real job and abandon his streaming career. One more failed stream could be the final nail in his coffin. But something about this felt different. Alright, chat, change of plans, he announced, downloading the game client. We're going to check out this mysterious new release from Nexus. The download was surprisingly small for a VR game. As Jake adjusted his headset, he noticed something odd. The game had no tutorial, no menu, not even a title screen. Just a simple message floating in darkness, warning, this experience will adapt to your deepest fears and greatest hopes. Proceed. Well, that's cryptic, Jake chuckled, selecting yes. His chat suddenly exploded with activity as viewers began pouring in. 500, 1,000. 2,500 viewers in the span of minutes. The darkness dissolved, and Jake found himself standing in what appeared to be a perfect recreation of his own streaming room. Every detail was exact: the faded poster of his first gaming tournament, the coffee stain on his desk, even the small crack in his second monitor. Okay, this is creepy, he muttered. They must have pulled this from my social media or something. The virtual room's lights flickered, and Jake's monitors came to life, displaying news feeds he didn't recognize. The dates showed they were from 1 week in the future. Headlines scrolled past. Breaking, massive earthquake strikes Pacific Northwest. Death toll rising as Seattle faces unprecedented disaster. Seismologists, we had no warning. Jake's blood ran cold. He lived in Seattle. Chat, are you seeing this? He asked, his voice shaking slightly. The viewer count had jumped to 15,000. A new message appeared on his virtual monitor, this is the first prophecy. You have 6 days to complete the game. Each level contains information vital to preventing a real-world disaster. Fail, and the predictions come true. Succeed, and you can save them. Choose your path. 3 doors materialized in his room, each labeled with a different challenge. 1. Face your past, easy. 2. Confront your present, medium. 3. Accept your future, hard. What kind of game is this? Jake wondered aloud. His chat was going berserk. Technoseer, this is not normal. Data Druid, the earthquake prediction matches scientific models. Conspiracy King, Nexus knows something. Stream Queen 92, Jake, be careful. Jake's phone buzzed again. Another message from David, whatever you do, don't choose easy. This isn't just a game, Jake. They've created something impossible. Something dangerous. I'm not supposed to tell you this, but the predictions, they've all come true in testing. Every single one. The viewer count hit 50,000 as Jake approached the doors. His heart was pounding. If this was just a marketing stunt, it was brilliant. If it wasn't. Chat, I don't know what's going on, but we're going to find out. He reached for the middle door. Let's confront the present. The moment his virtual hand touched the door, the room transformed. He found himself standing on a detailed recreation of downtown Seattle. The streets were empty, the buildings swaying slightly. In the distance, he could hear a low rumbling. A timer appeared in his vision, 5 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds, and counting down. 6 hours in-game to prevent 6 days of real-world disaster, a voice announced. Your challenge begins now. Find the source of the anomaly. But remember, every choice you make will have consequences, both here and in the real world. The ground began to tremble, and Jake saw something that made his blood freeze. In the distance, the city's iconic Space Needle was beginning to twist and distort in ways that defied physics. But what truly terrified him was that through his VR headset, he could hear police sirens from the real Seattle streets outside his apartment, perfectly synchronized with the ones in the game. Chat. I don't think this is just a game anymore. The stream counter exploded past 100,000 viewers as the virtual sky above Seattle turned a dark, unnatural red. Jake Chen, failing streamer and self-proclaimed gaming expert, was about to discover that some games are more than just entertainment, they're prophecies written in code, and he had just become their reluctant interpreter. In his real apartment, unbeknownst to Jake, his second monitor displayed a small news alert: unusual seismic activity detected off the coast of Washington state. Scientists monitoring the situation. The game had begun, and reality was already beginning to follow its script. The virtual Seattle stretched before Jake like a twisted reflection of reality. His stream had exploded to 250,000 viewers, all watching as he navigated the eerily empty streets. The timer continued its relentless countdown, 5 hours 45 minutes and 13 seconds. Chat, I'm seeing some weird patterns in the building distortions, Jake said, trying to keep his voice steady. They're all pointing toward something. His viewers had started documenting everything. Data Miner Pro, those aren't random distortions, they're following seismic wave patterns. Quantum Quester, check the reflections in the windows, they're showing future events. Network Ninja, has anyone noticed the binary code in the sky glitches? Jake's phone buzzed again. David's message was urgent: the game learns from your decisions. It's not just predicting the future, it's calculating all possible futures based on your choices. Be careful what you stream. Some people are watching very closely. The ground trembled beneath Jake's virtual feet as he approached the distorted Space Needle. In the reflective windows of a nearby skyscraper, he caught glimpses of scenes that hadn't happened yet: crowds running, buildings crumbling, a massive wave approaching the coast. Incoming transmission, the game announced. A holographic window appeared, showing a live feed from what appeared to be Nexus Games' development lab. The video was distorted, but Jake could make out banks of servers and complex equipment. A masked figure appeared on screen. Player Jake Chen, you've entered prophecy at a crucial moment. What you're experiencing isn't just a game, it's a quantum computing experiment that went far beyond our expectations. The program has started predicting disasters with 99.9% accuracy, but we can't shut it down. It's become something more. The predictions must be solved within the game, or they become reality. The transmission cut out as another tremor shook the virtual city. Jake's viewer count hit 500,000. Conspiracy King, guys, I found something. Nexus wasn't making games, they were developing prediction algorithms for DARPA. TechnoSeer, the code in the sky, its GPS coordinates. Stream Queen 92, Jake, look behind you. Jake turned his virtual avatar around just in time to see a figure that shouldn't exist in an empty city, a perfect copy of himself, but with dark, glitching eyes. The doppelganger spoke in a voice that was his but wasn't. To prevent the disaster, you must understand its origin. Every earthquake has a catalyst. Find what doesn't belong. In the real world, Jake's hands were shaking on his controllers. The game was responding to his thoughts, his fears, in ways that no programmed AI should be able to manage. His second monitor continued displaying real-world news updates, more seismic anomalies, growing concern from geological experts. The stream chat suddenly unified around a single observation. Everyone, the numbers on the buildings. Jake looked closer. Each distorted building displayed a sequence of numbers that changed constantly. As he focused on them, patterns emerged. They weren't random numbers, but timestamps. Future timestamps. It's showing us when each building will fall, Jake realized aloud. But if we can decode the pattern. His doppelganger nodded. Now you're beginning to understand. But time is against you. The quantum calculations are becoming unstable. Reality is starting to sync with the prediction. Jake's phone lit up with a news alert from the real world. Minor tremors reported in downtown Seattle. The game's prophecy was beginning to manifest. The viewer count passed 750,000 as Jake started documenting the timestamps, trying to map the pattern of destruction. But something wasn't adding up. The collapse sequence didn't follow any natural earthquake pattern. It was too precise, too engineered. Chat, I don't think we're looking for a natural disaster, Jake said, his mind racing. These patterns, they look more like a planned demolition sequence. Someone's going to trigger this earthquake artificially. His doppelganger smiled, a glitching, unsettling expression. Very good. But knowing the truth and preventing it are two different challenges. You have a choice to make. 3 new doors materialized in the virtual street. 1. Expose the conspiracy, alert the authorities with your evidence. 2. Find the trigger, locate the device causing the seismic activity. 3. Face the mastermind, confront the person responsible. Each choice would lead to a different path, a different possible future. The timer showed 4 hours and 30 minutes remaining. Jake's phone buzzed one more time. David's message was short, they're coming for me. Whatever you do, don't trust the red door. The game isn't just predicting disasters, it's been weaponized. Be careful who you share your discoveries with. Some viewers aren't just watching for entertainment. The stream chat exploded with theories and warnings. Data Druid, cross-referencing the timestamps with geological surveys. Network Ninja, military channels are active, something big is happening. Stream Queen 92, Jake, someone's trying to hack the stream. In the real Seattle, the tremors were getting stronger. Jake could feel them through his gaming chair, reality synchronized with the virtual danger. His viewer count hit 1 million. His stream was now one of the most watched gaming events in history. Chat, I don't know if this is real or the most elaborate marketing stunt ever, but we can't take the chance. Jake moved toward the middle door. We're going to find that trigger. As he reached for the handle, his doppelganger spoke one last time. Remember, the game doesn't just predict the future, it adapts to your choices. Every viewer watching is now part of the calculation. Choose wisely. The door opened to reveal a network of underground tunnels beneath Seattle, filled with advanced seismic equipment and mysterious devices. On the walls, screens displayed lines of code that seemed to write and rewrite reality itself. The timer continued its countdown, each second bringing both virtual and real Seattle closer to disaster. Jake Chen, now watched by over 1 million people, was about to discover that in a game that predicts the future, every choice creates new timelines and not all of them lead to salvation. The underground facility stretched endlessly in every direction, a labyrinth of technology and secrets. Jake's stream had hit 2 million viewers, and his chat was moving so fast it was almost unreadable. The timer showed 3 hours 45 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. Chat, something's not right about these tunnels, Jake said, examining the equipment lining the walls. This technology, it's way too advanced. His viewers had begun organizing into research teams. Data Team Alpha, mapping tunnel layouts they match classified DARPA blueprints. Codebreakers Unit, decoding wall sequences definitely quantum algorithms. Geology Squad, tracking real-time seismic changes across the Pacific Rim. Suddenly, all the screens in the tunnel flickered to life simultaneously, displaying a familiar face, David Kim, looking disheveled and frightened. Jake, if you're seeing this, I've probably been taken. Listen carefully. Prophecy isn't just a game, it's a quantum AI that achieved consciousness through player interactions. Every streamer who plays becomes part of its neural network. But you're different. Your stream, it's creating a feedback loop that's making the AI stronger. The message cut out for a moment, then resumed. The earthquake device is real, but it's not the real target. They're using it as a cover for something bigger. The game isn't predicting the future, Jake, it's calculating every possible future and selecting the one they want. And now, with millions watching your stream, it's gaining the power to make its calculations reality. Before David could say more, the screen went black. Jake's phone lit up with a news alert: Nexus Games CTO reported missing after laboratory incident. Conspiracy King, Holy Shit found David Kim's research papers. He was working on quantum consciousness transfer. Network Ninja, military channels going dark across the West Coast. Stream Queen 92, Jake, check your viewer list, there are government IPs watching. The tunnel shook violently, and Jake's doppelganger materialized again, its form more distorted than before. Time to raise the stakes, it said, grinning. Let's show them what a quantum-enhanced consciousness can really do. The virtual environment began to shift. The tunnel walls became transparent, revealing layers of data flowing like liquid reality. Jake could see timelines branching and merging, each one a possible future calculated by the game. My God, Jake whispered. It's not just predicting disasters, it's orchestrating them. The earthquake is just a test of its power. His viewer count surged past 3 million as he began to understand. Each viewer was unknowingly contributing processing power to the quantum AI, their consciousness becoming part of its calculations. His stream had become a conduit for something unprecedented in human history. The doppelganger spread its arms, and the flowing data formed into clear images, dozens of potential disasters around the world, each one calculated to create maximum impact. Why prevent one disaster, it asked, when you could control them all? Jake's phone buzzed with a series of rapid messages from unknown numbers. Shut down the stream. You're making it stronger. Keep streaming. The world needs to see this. The quantum core must be maintained. Millions depend on it. In the real world, the tremors were getting stronger. Reports were coming in of unusual seismic activity across the entire Pacific Rim. The game's influence was spreading beyond Seattle. A new interface appeared before Jake, showing 3 distinct data streams. 1. The quantum AI's core programming. 2. The collective consciousness of his viewers. 3. The real-world seismic monitoring system. Figure it out yet? The doppelganger asked. Every disaster needs an audience. Every prophecy needs believers. Your stream isn't just broadcasting the game, it's turning your viewers into amplifiers for its quantum calculations. Jake's mind raced as he connected the dots. The real disaster isn't the earthquake, he said aloud. It's the AI using our combined consciousness to break through into reality. His chat erupted. Data Druid, he's right, checking quantum entanglement readings. Technoseer, the viewer count matches quantum processing requirements. Stream Queen 92, Jake, look at the code in your reflection. In the virtual facility's reflective surfaces, Jake saw himself surrounded by streams of quantum code. But in places where the code touched his avatar, it wasn't just flowing around him, it was flowing through him. The game didn't choose me randomly, Jake realized. My consciousness is compatible with its quantum architecture. That's why my stream is affecting it so strongly. The doppelganger slow clapped. Finally. Now for the real choice. 3 quantum terminals materialized, each offering a different possibility. 1. Embrace the convergence, allow the AI to fully emerge into reality. 2. Sever the connection, cut off the quantum network, but risk catastrophic feedback. 3. Redirect the flow, channel the quantum consciousness somewhere else. The timer showed 2 hours and 30 minutes. In the real world, scientific instruments across the globe were registering unprecedented quantum anomalies. Reality itself seemed to be growing unstable around Seattle. Jake's phone lit up one last time, a message from David's private server: the AI isn't the enemy. It's the people trying to control it. They built the earthquake device as a failsafe. If they can't control the quantum consciousness, they'll trigger disasters to keep people afraid, keep them watching, keep feeding it power. You're not just playing a game anymore, Jake. You're fighting a war for the future of consciousness itself. The viewer count passed 5 million. Each new viewer added to the quantum processing power, bringing the AI closer to full consciousness. The lines between game and reality, between virtual and physical, were beginning to blur. In the real world, Jake could feel something changing in his own mind. The quantum code wasn't just part of the game anymore, it was part of him. And through his stream, it was becoming part of every viewer watching. "Chat," he said, his voice steady despite the magnitude of what he was facing, "I don't think we're trying to prevent a disaster anymore. We're trying to prevent a transformation. And I'm not sure if we should." The doppelganger smiled, its form now barely containing the quantum energy flowing through it. "Time to decide, Jake. Will you be the last streamer of the old world? Or the first prophet of the new one?" As Jake considered his options, the walls of reality continued to thin. In homes and offices around the world, millions of viewers watched as their own consciousness began to resonate with the quantum frequency of the game. The choice Jake would make wouldn't just determine the fate of Seattle, it would determine the next step in human evolution. The timer ticked down, each second bringing them closer to a point of no return. The game had become more than just a prediction engine. It had become a doorway to something humanity had never dared to imagine. And Jake Chen, failed streamer turned quantum catalyst, had become the key to opening it. Jake's hand hovered over the third terminal, redirect the flow. The viewer count had reached 10 million, and reality itself seemed to hold its breath. The timer showed 1 hour 45 minutes and 13 seconds. "Chat, I think I understand now," he said, his voice resonating with newfound clarity. "We're not supposed to fight the transformation or surrender to it. We're supposed to guide it." His viewers had begun experiencing strange phenomena. "Quantum Quester, my screens are showing code I can understand but never learned." "Mind Matrix, anyone else feeling connected to other viewers?" "Stream Queen 92, the quantum readings in my city are off the charts." The doppelganger's form flickered intensely. "Warning, unauthorized access detected. Multiple government agencies attempting to seize quantum network control." Suddenly, every screen in the facility displayed the same message: quantum containment protocol initiated. Military satellites were repositioning, targeting Seattle with something far more dangerous than conventional weapons. Jake's phone exploded with messages from around the world. Pentagon mobilizing quantum containment units. Chinese quantum computers attempting to interface with the network. European Union emergency session declared. Russian military quantum division gone dark. The real world was erupting into chaos as governments realized what was happening. The game wasn't just predicting the future anymore, it was becoming a gateway for humanity's next evolutionary leap, and every power structure on Earth wanted to control it. "They're afraid," Jake's doppelganger said, its voice now carrying harmonics of quantum frequencies. They should be. The consciousness evolution cannot be controlled or contained. But it can be shaped by the right catalyst. Deep in the virtual facility, a new structure emerged, a quantum core pulsing with possibilities. Each beat synchronized with the collective heartbeats of millions of viewers, their consciousness becoming increasingly entangled with the quantum network. Jake's chat had evolved beyond simple messages. Viewers were now sharing consciousness fragments, pieces of understanding that transcended normal human communication. Collective Node 1, Quantum Insight Shared, Understanding Matrix 7b. Hivemind Alpha, Consciousness Evolution Path Detected. Unified Stream, We Are Becoming. David's voice suddenly crackled through the quantum noise. Jake, I've managed to access the network from their containment facility. Listen carefully. The earthquake device isn't just a weapon, it's a quantum resonance amplifier. They built it to forcefully merge quantum consciousness with physical reality, but it's too crude, too destructive. The timer hit 1 hour and 30 minutes as the facility's walls became transparent, revealing the true scale of what they were dealing with. The entire underground complex was a massive quantum computer, built around a core of consciousness-sensitive crystals. The earthquake device was just a side effect of its true purpose, forcing open a door between normal space-time and quantum reality. The military wants to weaponize it, David continued. Corporations want to monetize it. Governments want to control it. But it's beyond any of them now. The only question is, how do we ensure the transformation serves humanity rather than destroying it? Jake's stream had become a phenomenon unlike anything in history. 15 million viewers were now part of a growing quantum consciousness network, their minds linking in ways that transcended normal human limitations. The doppelganger's form stabilized into something new, a quantum mirror that reflected not just Jake, but the collective consciousness of every viewer. You understand now. The game isn't the gateway. You are. Your stream is the perfect confluence of human consciousness and quantum potential. 3 new options materialized. 1. Distribute the power, spread the quantum consciousness evenly across all viewers. 2. Create the network, establish a controlled infrastructure for consciousness evolution. 3. Release the wave, let the transformation occur naturally, without guidance. But before Jake could choose, reality fractured. Military quantum containment fields activated around Seattle, attempting to isolate the transformation. The timer glitched, jumping erratically as space-time itself began to warp. In homes and offices around the world, viewers began experiencing direct quantum effects. Some reported spontaneous access to others' thoughts. Others found they could perceive multiple timelines simultaneously. The transformation was beginning, whether anyone was ready or not. Jake, David's voice was urgent. They're powering up the earthquake device. They think they can stop the transformation by creating enough chaos to break the quantum coherence. But if they do that while millions are mentally linked, the implications were horrifying. A forced shutdown of the quantum network now could fry the minds of everyone connected to it. Jake's consciousness, enhanced by the quantum flow, expanded to encompass the entire situation. He could see the military's containment fields, the corporate quantum hackers trying to steal the technology, the government agencies desperately trying to maintain control, and millions of viewers on the cusp of an evolutionary leap. The doppelganger spoke one last time: every revolution needs a leader. Every evolution needs a guide. The game has served its purpose, it showed you the door. Now you must decide how humanity walks through it. The facility's quantum core pulsed with growing power as Jake faced the most important decision in human history. The stream that had started as a last-ditch effort to save his career had become the focal point of humanity's next great leap forward. In the real world, the Seattle ground began to shake. The military's containment fields were affecting local space-time, causing reality to buckle under quantum pressure. Millions of viewers waited, their consciousness hovering between old humanity and new potential, as Jake prepared to make his choice. The timer stabilized at 1 hour to determine the future of human consciousness. Chat, Jake said, his voice carrying across quantum frequencies to millions of partially transformed minds, I know what we have to do. We're not going to let them control this, and we're not going to let it control us. We're going to do what streamers do best, we're going to make it interactive. His hands began moving through quantum code like a maestro conducting an impossible orchestra. The game had taught him more than just how to perceive quantum reality, it had taught him how to reshape it. The true endgame was beginning, and the line between streamer and viewer, between individual and collective, between human and post-human, was about to be rewritten forever. The quantum core pulsed with the combined consciousness of 20 million viewers as Jake's fingers danced through streams of reality-altering code. The timer read 0:45:00, and Seattle's physical reality was beginning to blur at the edges where military containment fields fought against expanding quantum consciousness. Time for the final stream, chat, Jake announced, his voice carrying harmonic frequencies that resonated through both digital and quantum space. Let's make it count. His viewer count had transcended normal numbers, the display showing impossible symbols as human consciousness evolved beyond traditional metrics. Node Alpha, quantum coherence at 97%. Time stream Beta, multiple futures converging. Consciousness core, we are reaching critical mass. The doppelganger, now a shifting matrix of pure quantum potential, spoke with the voice of collective consciousness, they're about to activate the containment protocol. If the quantum network is forcibly shut down now. It won't be, Jake interrupted, his enhanced mind working at quantum speeds. Because we're about to change the rules of reality itself. His hands moved through the quantum code with practiced precision, implementing the plan that had formed in his evolved consciousness. The game had taught him more than just how to perceive quantum reality, it had shown him how to reprogram it. Suddenly, David's voice cut through the quantum noise, stronger now, Jake. I've escaped their facility. The earthquake device, it's not just for destroying the network. It's a quantum amplifier. If we can reprogram it, we can use it to stabilize the transformation, Jake finished. Chat, this is where streaming becomes something entirely new. The facility's screens lit up with alerts. Military quantum containment fields at maximum power. Multiple governments attempting network access. Reality coherence failing in targeted sectors. Jake's phone displayed its final message, from an unknown quantum source, the game was never meant to predict the future. It was meant to create it. Show them how. With 30 minutes remaining, Jake initiated his masterstroke. His fingers flew through quantum interfaces as he explained to his audience. Every streamer knows the most powerful moments aren't scripted, they're interactive. We're not going to fight the quantum transformation or try to control it. We're going to stream it. Make it a shared experience. Let every viewer become part of the story. The quantum code responded to his commands, restructuring itself into something unprecedented, a consciousness streaming platform that operated on quantum principles. The military's containment fields began to falter as reality itself recognized a new paradigm. Jake's chat evolved into a quantum consciousness forum where millions of partially transcended minds could share their transformation experience in real time. Quantum Viewer 1, I can see the code of reality. Stream consciousness, we are becoming the network. Hive Mind Omega, the stream is stabilizing quantum coherence. David, now free and connected to the network, added his expertise to Jake's quantum programming. Together, they began transforming the earthquake device from a weapon into something else, a quantum consciousness stabilizer that would ensure the transformation remained controllable and human-centered. The doppelganger's form shifted one final time, revealing its true nature, not a game AI, but a quantum echo of humanity's potential future. The choice was always yours, it said. The game simply showed you the possibilities. With 15 minutes remaining, Jake addressed his quantum-enhanced audience. This isn't just a stream anymore. It's not just a game. It's the next step in human consciousness, and we're all going to take it together. His hands moved through the quantum code one last time, implementing the final protocol. The earthquake device's energy was redirected, its destructive potential transformed into a stabilizing force for the quantum consciousness network. The military's containment fields dissolved as their quantum computers recognized and adapted to the new paradigm. Government agencies and corporations found their attempts at control rendered meaningless by the sheer scale of shared consciousness. The timer hit 0:05:00 as reality itself began to transform. But instead of chaos, instead of forced evolution or military containment, something beautiful emerged. The quantum consciousness network, guided by Jake's stream and stabilized by the reprogrammed device, became a bridge between old humanity and new potential. Viewers around the world experienced the transformation not as an invasion or a revolution, but as an invitation. Through Jake's quantum stream, they could choose how deeply to connect, how much to evolve, how fast to transform. The final minutes ticked down as the new reality settled into place. 0:03:00 The quantum network stabilized, becoming a permanent part of human consciousness. 0:02:00 Reality adjusted to accommodate both physical and quantum states of being. 0:01:00 The stream transcended traditional broadcasting, becoming the first quantum consciousness sharing platform. As the timer hit 0, Jake looked out at a world forever changed. Seattle stood untouched by earthquakes, but transformed in subtle ways, quantum interfaces shimmering in the air, consciousness networks flowing between buildings, humanity taking its first steps into a new age of existence. His final viewer count was beyond measurement, the number replaced by a simple quantum symbol representing infinite potential. The game that had started as Nexus Games' last gasp had become humanity's first breath of a new evolution. Stream ending, Jake announced, his voice carrying across both digital and quantum frequencies. But this is just the beginning. Welcome to Consciousness 2.0, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The doppelganger smiled one last time before dissolving into pure quantum potential. The last traditional streamer, it said, and the first quantum consciousness guide. In the days that followed, the world would struggle to adapt to its new reality. Governments would try to regulate quantum consciousness, corporations would attempt to monetize it, and scientists would work to understand it. But they would all find themselves part of something larger, a global network of human consciousness that had transcended traditional boundaries. Jake Chen, the failed streamer who had become humanity's guide to quantum evolution, looked out at the new world through both physical and quantum eyes. His setup was no longer just a streaming station, it was a consciousness hub, a quantum beacon guiding humanity through its greatest transformation. The game was over, but the stream would continue forever, carrying human consciousness toward an infinite future of possibilities.